who has a bachelor's in nonprofit leadership.
Recording is on.
So today we have Rochelle, who has a bachelor's in... One more time. My bad. So today we have with us Rochelle, who has a bachelor's in nonprofit leadership. She serves her community by writing. She's also my writing buddy.
And we have my writing buddy, Gail, who has a bachelor's in English and a master's in reading. She is a full-time cook.
And writer. I write too.
And writer. She's a full-time cook and writer.
So this week's going to be exciting. We have events from Mid-Continent Public Library, NaNoWriMo, and this week is kind of special because we have Prospect Street readings. I'll tell you a little bit more about that when we get there. So, Rochelle, let's go ahead and start with Tuesday.
All right. So on Tuesday, we have Kansas City Voices workshop called Uncovering Your Truth in Memoir. This is through the Mid-Continent Public Library, and you get to learn how and where to begin writing a memoir. The great thing about this is that you're going to learn about writing honestly, about personal experiences, while also keeping in mind that others may either profit or change by what they read.
So I have a question for you relating to this. What is the best thing or the worst thing that could happen if you decided to write a memoir?
I think the best thing is that a lot of people would say, yeah, my family's like that too. But the worst thing would probably be that I wouldn't know where to start because there's so much craziness.
I think the best thing that would happen is I would get super famous because it's so dramatic. And the worst thing would be maybe some people who I'm related to would come find me that are probably in jail right now and are getting out soon. Not that I'm talking about anyone in particular. All right, so what's the next thing? It's all the way on Thursday.
So on Thursday, we're looking at the rapidly changing residential landscape. So for the past decade, the U.S. has experienced an accelerating demand for housing and a shortage of supply, especially as millennials are increasingly looking to live independently. I'll just say this millennial is not trying to live independently.
Well, why not? Let's start with that.
Several reasons. One, it's very expensive. Two, I've learned that while I like having my alone time, if I don't have a reason to seek other people out like I live with them, I just won't.
Yeah, right? It's like so hard to seek other people out, which is one of the reasons why I think virtual writing events are essential, especially during the pandemic. It's like reach out and write. So for this one, the reason I picked this one is I thought it might be interesting for people who are doing some speculative fiction. Like the landscape and the relationship people have had with the land has changed, and it's continuing to change. And I thought that maybe that could be kind of like an educational experience just to think about real estate and what that means for the future.
Just as a reminder, if you want to attend these events, click on the numbers so you can go to the page and register and learn more.
Right. Thank you, Rochelle. So on this page, can you find the changing residential landscape?
This is a test. I may not be passing.
Yeah. I know it's a part of the real estate conference. So maybe if we go. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is hard.
It is.
Go back up to the very top because those are the events that are upcoming. All the other events that you're scrolling through are events that you can still watch. So go back all the way to the beginning. We're looking for Thursday.
Oh, it's right here. Real estate conference.
So it was the first one. Cool. Cornell Real Estate Conference, the rapidly changing residential landscape. Thanks for reminding us, Rochelle.
Yes.
Now let's go back to, there we go. And here's one that I'm excited about. It's really tiny. I got to fix it on the website. Do you see it? Prospect Street readings?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So have you ever heard of Bennington College?
I have not.
Okay. So it's this college that has like a low residency MFA program. And one of my really good friends, not just writing friends, but actual friends, not that you're not my actual, because you're my actual friend too, but from a long time ago.
Right.
That's so awkward. He's reading at this.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, his name's Eddie. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm definitely going to go. And they do have them recorded. The best way to find them, Rochelle, would you go? Just, I don't know if you feel comfortable doing this. Nah. Yeah, click the thing, see what it does. Because you have to go to Facebook, and I don't want to have to show your Facebook online.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, there we go. So you can just go to Facebook and not Google, but look up Prospect Street Readings, and that's them. They have a website too, but the best way to get to their events is just to go to their page. And if you'll scroll down to their feed, there should be something that's an event that's coming up. Yep. Let's see. Was live. Yep, that's it right there.
All right.
Yeah, so it's on Thursday. So if you see something that says it's on Tuesday, don't listen to it. It's on Thursday.
All right.
Cool. Next is Cocktails with Publishers.
Whoa, computer. Let us go.
Cocktails with Publishers, a mixer, and Ask Me Anything.
Ask Me Anythings are always fun. So this one is about selling. How do you sell to the salespeople? This one's going to have publishing veterans Jan Johnson, Lisa McGinnis, and Brendan Knight. They're going to help you navigate the rapids of book publishing so you can find the perfect home for your book. You can bring all your questions about book publishing and learn from some of the best in the business.
All right. So, what's the closest you've ever been to a publisher?
My friend published a book.
Very cool. Very cool. Have you ever done? Have you have had a finished manuscript or an elevator pitch or anything like that?
No, I have not had any of those. I have done elevator pitches for other things though, so I do feel confident about the ability to do those.
Very cool. Yeah, the closest I've ever been, there was a poetry festival that was in Kansas City a couple of years ago. It might be upcoming too, or I might have already passed it or no. But either way, so there's a lot of independent publishers out there. So if you find that you're not finding any luck with traditional publishers, you can find some of these indie publishers who may just really publish things that are close to what you're writing.
Right.
So that's Cocktails with Publishers, and that's on meetup.com.
All right. Then on Friday, we have another interesting discussion, Fashioning Sustainable Luxury with Mimi Prober. So designer Mimi Prober's signature clothing collections are based on honoring the hands that created the art, which I think is amazing. I love that.
Yeah, there's something really intense about fast fashion and especially our country. I watched kind of a preview to a documentary on Netflix that's, I forget what it's called. Either way, but it talks about like how much of our fashion like just goes overseas. And so I'm hoping that this is like a loving way to approach fashion. And maybe that could be included in writing too. I know, have you ever heard that show Schitt's Creek on Netflix? Cool. So I watched a documentary on that too, and the fashion that the people are wearing in Schitt's Creek really contribute to the characterization. When you write your stuff, do you think about what kinds of clothing your characters are wearing?
Yes, I did a course on characterization, and that's one of the things that they talked about was making sure that you understand how your character dresses, what pieces they would wear, what pieces they wouldn't wear, and why they would make those choices.
Yeah, so I don't know if it really fits, but I thought it was interesting. And just, as a writer, you really have to explore a whole bunch of different stuff. Next one is the last event that we have for this week. It's
the most exciting because you get to write. It is a virtual write-in. If you didn't know, NaNoWriMo is coming up. National Novel Writing Month is in November. So we are doing Nano Prep right now. This write-in is going to help you figure out where you want to start with your novel. There will be some writing prompts to help you generate ideas. You can also visit the Nano Prep page for all of the Nano Prep resources.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go to that write-in. Write-ins are my favorites. Can you describe what a write-in is? I don't think some people really know. Even my friend Eddie is like, "What's a write-in?" I don't understand.
I like write-ins because it's a whole bunch of writers who aren't in the same space because it's a virtual write-in, and every person's working on their own work. They may be working with the prompt, they may not be working with the prompt, but you have time to chat about your ideas sometimes. Other times you are strictly writing, but the most important piece is that you are writing at the write-in. There's just something about writing with other people, even if you're not chatting with them, you're just writing, that makes it a lot easier to write, at least for me.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of accountability, which is something I need in my life. So that's all the events. Do you have any questions about those? I think they're pretty self-explanatory.
I think they are too. I think these are exciting. And I do like that there are events that are not strictly writing centric because, like you said, writers need to do a lot of research and learn a lot of things. So, having that exposure to different elements is going to be really important for everyone's writing.
Cool. So, can you tell me a little bit about what you're writing this week?
This week, I am working on my new storyline that I didn't know existed until Saturday or Sunday. I'm going to be learning about the characters that are in that storyline. I updated my Aeon timeline because they came out with Aeon Timeline 3, which is amazing. I made
Mm.
mind maps for both of my storylines to see how the characters are connected and what places they are connected to, so that then when I'm doing characterization, when I'm trying to figure out my storylines, I have an easy way to see that, oh, Victoria is this person's cousin. She is this person's sister without having to go back to handwritten notes.
Cool. And just so you know, I asked you that question to have like some talking in the background that I fade out so it's not going to like talk about your writing at all.
Sure.
Cool. So I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you. Amazing. More options. Stop recording.